Hello everyone, and I would like to begin today by giving a big shout out to our Member of Parliament, McNamara's, for helping the town access the Canada Summer Jobs Program this year. In light of COVID-19, the program has been extended out to February 2021 and now covers the full cost of minimum wage for student workers. The town has secured 24 positions, and we are bringing these students on as quickly as we can, safely accommodate them to work in the workplace and while achieving physical distancing. Our students will help us with grass cutting, outdoor maintenance, as well as flower planting. We are delighted to brighten up our larger flower beds and street poles with flowers this summer. This week, the Premier announced the regions that are permitted to move into Stage 2 of the provincial reopening plan. Windsor-Essex was not one of them, and decisions on reopening Ontario were difficult for the Premier and ministers, and certainly hard to swallow for those of us not moving forward. However, we need to keep focus on our priority to contain the spread of COVID-19. And right now, the agriculture business sector needs our help. Public health and supporting healthcare providers are working with farms and migrant workers to address the outbreak in the agri-food sector. Public health has acknowledged that the outbreak in the agri-food sector came through community transmission. That means we need to do our part by maintaining the safe practices we have learned over the past few months. Maintain a physical distance of 2 meters from others. Wash our hands with soap and water often. At least use some hand sanitizer. Minimize your trips to stores. Clean and disinfect commonly touched surfaces, and limit social gatherings to 10 people or less. And that's been increased from 5 as of today. In addition to those safe practices that limit community spread, consider buying local to support local food processors and our local businesses. The Windsor-Essex County Health Unit has stepped up testing for the virus within our municipalities. And over the last 2 weeks, the Health Unit has tested thousands of people through pop-up through testing facilities. One was held in Tecumseh at the Zares Plaza a week ago, where nearly 600 people were tested. And the Premier commended our region for the big push on testing in our region, and we certainly thank him for that. At this week's regular meeting of council, several financial measures to give relief to households during the pandemic was extended to July 31st. Financial relief measures include waiving late payment penalties and interest charges on property taxes and utilities, and waiving fares on Tecumseh Transit. The reduced rates for the purchase of dog tags and kennel licenses has also been extended to July 31st. Also at the meeting, the Parks and Recreation Department outlined the cancellation of several planned events for this summer, including the Summer Concert Series, the outdoor movie nights, the traditional Canada Day event, and the end of the summer celebration. While we are extremely disappointed in having to cancel these summer events, it is prudent to take these measures at this time for the health and safety of our whole community. Park staff are working with Heritage Canada to offer ways to celebrate Canada Day virtually, and we will have more information on that in the coming weeks. Should things change and gatherings of more than 10 people be allowed, we will review these decisions and look to offer activities as provincial regulations and public health guidance permit. This week, my colleagues and I welcome Mark and Jane Renault as co-chairs of the capital campaign of the Tecumseh Sportsplex. Mark and Jane are the parents of the late Mickey Renault, former captain of the Windsor Spitfires and Calgary Flames prospect. The Renaults are well known in Tecumseh and have spent much time at the Tecumseh Arena with decades of involvement in participating and coaching community sports activities. They are the ideal supporters to lead the campaign, and I thank them for their dedication and efforts not only on the Sportsplex, but also within our community. Before I close, I want to take a note of a community event coming up this month, and I hope everyone will support. On June 27th, let's make a miracle happen through a regional food drive organized by a number of grassroots groups in the Windsor-Essex, including the Goodfellows and the Windsor-Essex County Food Bank Association. On that day, by 12 noon, residents are asked to place non-perishable items on their doorsteps for pickup. An army of volunteers will fan out across the region to collect your donations. The proceeds will be distributed to all 15 regional food banks for those who need it most. With the current economic situation facing us, many more people have been pushed to rely on food donations, and we are coming together to help. They are also looking for volunteers for the event, and I encourage you to sign up if you can help. Details on the event website is on the screen. Let's see if all of us can beat Chatham-Kent's collection of nearly 700,000 pounds of food. As another form of donation, please remember, this week is National Blood Donor Week. Canadian Blood Services is facing a rising need for blood as hospitals begin elective surgeries again and respond to emergencies. Did you know it takes up to 50 blood donors to provide blood for one crash victim? I keep mentioning this need as the pandemic has prevented regional donor clinics. So again, I urge you to contact the Canadian Blood Services and make an appointment to donate blood. If you are unable to donate, share the details with your friends and family to encourage them to donate. I will end today by acknowledging that June is Pride Month. While events normally held in support of the LGBTQ community this month may have been canceled due to the pandemic, I want to acknowledge the important work of groups like the Windsor-Essex Pride Fest, Run for Rocky, Windsor-Essex Trans Support, and the AIDS Committee of Windsor-Essex. Your efforts in support of the LGBTQ community are truly appreciated. So thank you, everyone, and we will see you next week.